Hello and welcome to another episode of the Kind Regards podcast, hosted by yours truly, Zamiwe Mwape. Here at Kind Regards, we love discussing life at the intersection of career. And today we're talking to someone who I think has done brilliantly in their career, as well as, as a person. I know her, she is awesome. She made MD at just 29 years old. Okay, so we're going to be discussing her career to making it to MD before the age of 30. We're going to be discussing the role that personal coaching has played in her life. And we're also going to discuss building community. Today we're talking to none other than the MD of Dentsu, Zambia. Dentsu is a leading marketing agency, for those who may not know. And also the founder of Cheech's book club, where she has built a community of readers, which started just as a small friend group, and now it's expanded across several countries. Chishimba Musonda, it is such a pleasure to have you.
That intro, I was like, whoa. Lovely to be here, Zami.
Welcome. I'm so happy to have you on Kind Regards.
I'm so, you don't understand. I'm so happy to be here. I was saying to my sister how it's always nerve-wracking to do things like this, but happy to have a conversation with you.
So, before we get into it, we're going to have a few icebreakers, just so we can understand how your mind works.
I can trust you.
You don't trust me? You should. I feel like I've given you some cute icebreakers. Okay, let's see. What is something that made you smile today?
Ooh, I got a text from somebody.
Oh, now she has to show us the text. Don't you guys?
No, I'm
don't
not
you
gonna.
agree?
I'm protecting their identity.
Okay, all right. For their privacy, we'll let it go. If I found you driving in traffic, what would I find you jamming to?
John Legend.
John Legend?
Yes.
That was too easy.
Because it's what I was listening to today, and it's what I've been listening to this week, and it's once again one of his, and I think it's one of his best albums. And so, yeah, it's very nostalgic. I've been very reflective this week, so
so John, let me throw it back. Would you rather live without music or live without social media forever?
Without social media. Easy.
Easier.
Yeah.
But I mean, I thought it might be a surprising response because you work in marketing.
But you see, we're going to dive into it. My profession has forced me to jump into social media, etc. But inherently, I've come to discover that I'm extremely deep, and you sort of see it in my choice of music, etc. Because I feel like it's reading as well, right?
Yes.
Words are extremely important to me, right? So good music is important to me. And I feel like different albums and different genres sort of speak to the different seasons of our lives. So I can't imagine a version of my story where I'm not listening to, Navik when I'm going through something hectic in my life, or I'm needing empowerment, or John Legend when I'm feeling a little razzle dazzle, what I mean? Or Beyonce to get the party started. You understand? So with social media, any day. Yeah.
Okay. And lastly, what does reading mean to you?
That's a good one. It's a bit tricky though, because what does reading mean to me? First of all, stories I love to use love letters because I think I'm a lover of love. But it's a gift from an author or someone who puts whatever it is, words to paper. And especially when I'm reading fiction, it's an opportunity to go back in time or understand a different culture or look at a perspective that someone that I will never meet in my life is trying to relay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's communication, it's understanding, it's storytelling. Yeah, I think that's what reading means to me. So there's a lot of lessons that you learn from books. There's a lot of messages that books have, but it's also an opportunity to expand from what we think we know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love how your face softens when you're talking about it. You're like, words. You're like, reading. Oh, I love thee.
I wish we would go back to like writing letters to each other to express how we feel. Like,
Yeah.
dear so and so, I was not happy with the email you sent me.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what reading means to me.
Okay.
What does it mean to you, Zam?
Just what you said. This is not about me. Reading to me is adventure, because I think my imagination was first unlocked through reading. When I was a child, I read a lot. I tell people my first toys were books. So when you read, it's like you're seeing it in your mind, and you're seeing places you've never been to. So I think that's what it is for me. It's an adventure, it's exploration, it's imagination. And I wish I read as much as I did too. And also it's like an introduction to feelings that you may not know. Because like before I ever experienced love, I was reading romantic books. You know, I remember I used to exchange, this was me as a child, I used to exchange books with my mom's workmate. She had like a bunch of
How
books.
old were you?
Like preteen. Like
I'm like Zami.
Yeah. And they'll let me read like the Daniel Steels and all of that.
Oh my God, Mills and Boons.
Mills and Boons. I started when I went to boarding school.
That's I distorted our whole perspective on relationships, because now I'm trying to relive that Mills and Boon moment, and I'm like, guys,
And it's kind of toxic. Yes.
But guys, I still hold on to that childlike memory. So
That
one
childlike
day,
wonder.
one day.
So I always like to start here. Who is Chishimba? The person, the professional, and everything in between.
Firstly, I'm a child of God. And I always start with that because I am growing in my spiritual life. And I say growing intentionally because there's still a lot of things that I'm exploring in my relationship with God. But I think that starting with that already gives me the courage and confidence to say anything else, right? Because I know that I can stand firm in that. So I'm a child of God. Me and my friend like to say God's favorite daughters.
Yeah.
So, I am a woman on a journey of self-discovery. I'll say that. I love to travel. I love meeting new people, and I love connections. And I love the authenticity that comes from random interactions. It's like how I met your team and I was like, okay, let me get your names, your vibe, etc.
Yes.
There's so much beauty that comes from that, and I'm realizing it's inherently in me, curiosity.
Yeah.
So from a Chishimba as a person, I am that. I am family oriented. I am the last born of 11 siblings or children.
You don't give Kasuli energy.
Please tell my brothers that. Like,
maybe that's how you present to the world. You give
Chansa,
firstborn daughter.
specifically Chansa.
Yeah.
You're going to be watching this. He is so hell-bent on the fact that I'm spoiled. I don't know how or thank you. I don't, right? Yeah. I am the Kasuli.
Yeah.
I am a Bemba woman. Actually Tabwa, which is close to Bemba, but it's an interesting story, and I wish my dad was alive because he told it well. But Tabwa, it's similar to Bemba. With Lunda roots from my mom. So I think the subtle beauty from my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm a lover of life. When I think of who I am as a person, that's who I am. I'm still writing my story.
Yeah.
So I really don't like to box myself in when it comes to talking about who I am. But that's what I'll say: a sister, an aunt, a friend, a lover, a boss, etc.
Yes.
When it comes to my professional life, I'm a student of the world. And I think that, and we will unpack it, is what has helped me get to where I am today. I had people early in my life that told me that whatever you do, stay curious and remain a student. Even when you get to MD level, there's still so many things you don't know. And so keep empowering yourself, whether that's through reading, which is something that I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
Conversations with people, whether that's going back to school, keep and remain a student of the world. So I think that's who I am from a professional perspective. Again, not boxing myself in, because if I tell you how I ended up in marketing, you'd be like, my dream was to work for the UN, and I studied international relations and somehow find myself in marketing. So the world is my oyster, I think.
Yeah.
So that's who I am professionally. It's a girl who's telling a story, but understand that when you open the door for me, I will work.
Yeah.
Like it's no one's business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I love that. I will work like it's no one's business. And I love how you've spoken about yourself as a person and as a professional with equal measure of respect and passion. You're like, I will work, but I'm also like a child of God.
Yeah.
It's beautifully said. I want to know the journey of how you got to MD, because you said if you tell us how you got to MD or in marketing as an international relations student.
So, and I think this year has sort of placed me in situations where I'm having to retell the story.
Yeah.
And so like a couple of, I think last month, University of Lusaka, because that's where I did my undergrad,
Yes.
invited me back to just speak one of their career days. And one of the questions on the panel was to tell the story about how I got to this. I literally started as, I'm sure you've seen it at the intersection. You see leaflet distributors.
Yes. No, you're kidding me. You know those people who give me shit? That's like someone who gives me a ShopRite flyer.
Literally.
Becoming the MD of ShopRite.
Literally.
Amazing.
So when I was in uni first year, again, my brother, my siblings, making sure I'm in check and making sure I don't lose myself through university, because that's the fear that all of us have, whether it's our nieces, nephews, cousins, etc., children. Right? So after first year, I came back from the boarding house, was home. I was living with my brother at the time, and I was watching Keeping Up with Kardashians. 11 a.m., scrolling. He walked in randomly from the office, and I could see from his face, he was like, what? But anyway, played it cool.
Yeah.
Kept on. Yes. The next day, he randomly called me. I hope you've bathed. Come to pick you up for an interview. Okay. So went, got ready. Clearly, I hadn't showered. Got ready quick. He was home in like an hour. And picked me up and we went. So my first job was in my first year at ADEX, which is Advertising Express, and my boss was Lafonti Lufungolo. I always talk about Lafonti in my story because there's so many things that he taught me, and I think he was the first person that introduced me to corporate world and how to present yourself, and like the importance of when an opportunity is given to you, you must hold on to it with dear life. So anyway, went, interviewed, because obviously I had a conversation with him, they were friends, and the internship was already mine. So went, and it was a printing company first. So that was my first job, and it was a taste of marketing, but from a different perspective, right?
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't understand, printing companies, so if you see your billboards, the actual prints, or like your leaflets, etc., t-shirts.
Yeah.
Yes. And so there was a whole sales component to it. So you had to go out, look for clients, and also meet clients, convince them to print all of the inventory with you versus another printing company, etc. That was my first job. So that was my first taste of marketing. And he was coming from the marketing world as well. So that was and honestly, he gave me an opportunity. So that's how I started my career in marketing.
Oh, wow.
He would let me go for meetings and see, he literally, I believe in you. And he would say, Mwache, tomorrow you're going to ZB.
Wow.
And he would always show up in his suit.
And those are big clients.
Yes. Zone at the time, like it was, and he would first he would take me with him and would have breakfast meetings and we'd have random meetings just to meet clients, etc. And then he let me go as an intern. Yeah. And that's why I also believe in giving young people an opportunity, because they might surprise you.
Yeah.
So that was my first interaction anyway. Couple of months. I left. Second year, didn't have any internship. Third year, looked for the next internship. And at the time, Given, brother, Ahmed, was looking for an intern as well at Media Magnet. And this is where the leaflet distribution came in. So I was an intern for the activation component of the business.
Okay.
So we would have clients like Blue Band, ShopRite, etc., who would have monthly activations and obviously distribute flyers, etc. So I was the lead. Ideally, I needed to just plan activations, whether that's Lusaka, outside Lusaka.
What's an activation?
It's exactly what you see. So you see leaflet distributions, right? But there's a whole objective tied to it. It's either you're pushing month-end sales or mid-month sales or a specific product.
Got you.
Yes. So it's an activation because you have a whole plan linked to it, whether it's what am I trying to sell, what's the objective, what's the actual mechanic. So is it spin and wheel, and you see that wheel normally with the track, etc. So there's different,
Yeah, okay, it's not random.
No. It's not random. So you plan it and it's linked to what you want to achieve.
Yeah.
So, I was intern at the time. And so...
You were intern but leading an activation?
Yeah.
Wow.
Given an opportunity. So plan the budgets, plan the teams. You need to call them, whether it's Chipata, Copper Belt, etc.
Yeah.
So gave me free rein. I was a student. I was like, okay, first of all, Ahmed, if I go and I'm part of the activation, do I get, because you give them a stipend, right? I was like, will I get the stipend? Yes. But over and above that, we were facing a situation where, OK Furniture was one of our clients and would distribute, but the sales were not matching the number of leaflets that were given at the end of the month.
Yeah.
And what we started discovering is that our activators, what we'd call them, would throw away their leaflets in drainages, etc., which if you look at cost, benefit analysis, exactly.
Yeah.
So two things, I was going to get extra money, stipend, and I was going to understand what actually was going on with leaflets versus sales.
Yeah.
That was my first taste of, if you want to get the job done, you have to do it yourself. And so in my mind, I thought it was just to earn extra. So that's what I was saying. You'd see me, I'll be there in ShopRite. I would even see my friends. I'm going to buy groceries, I'll be there, Blue Band t-shirt. And I would rock it. I was like, one thing I'll do, I'm going to tuck in the t-shirt, I'll wear nice
skinny jeans.
Exactly. Mascara, but I am a leaflet distributor. And I saw the university students that as well. And I'm like, you have to be proud of your hustle. Because when I think about it now, why should I be ashamed? I was making extra money, and guess what?
It's a job.
Friday, I'll go and contribute to a bottle if we're going out.
Yeah.
I'll go watch a movie. So it's all those things. So that's literally the start of my marketing journey. And next thing, they were like, okay, I performed really well, obviously. And they said, look, what we need is full-time employee and not an intern. And I was now in, I think, my 4th year.
Okay.
Not that I'm encouraging anybody to do this, but what I then did is I moved from full-time student to part-time student, and I took the job.
I see.
I'm not encouraging anybody's child to do it, but
it
I
worked
did
for
it.
you.
Yes. And so my family didn't know. So at that time, now I was bawling, and my family didn't understand. One allowance, but she never uses buses anymore. Next thing,
the lifestyle isn't matching what they give
There'll
you.
be signs.
Yeah, there'll be signs.
So that's sort of what happened through that. And then I was moved to the media side of business, which is called Simply Black. Yeah. And then we started understanding that's where it became real work, strategy, formulating media plans, etc. And worked for Simply Black 5 years. Went well. And at the time before I moved to Dentsu, someone from South Africa was looking for an account lead for Dentsu. And we heard it through, you know how it is in the world, corporate world. But at the same time, 2 months before I interviewed, I was actually promoted as country lead for Simply Black. So I was like, okay, this is cool. But 2 months later, job ad interviewed for account lead at Dentsu, which is a lower. Yeah. And then I got it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was a very, I think quickly, and I think that's where growing up comes in, right?
Yeah.
I needed to understand, is it a title I'm chasing? And Simply Black came with a car. I was always traveling. iPhone, MacBook, talk time, it was
You were living.
It was a great package. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yes.
But I had my reasons for the shift. I researched on Dentsu and I sort of unpacked what I studied versus what I believed Dentsu would offer me.
Mm-hmm.
And I made the decision. I prayed about it.
Yeah.
And that was 2020.
Mm-hmm.
That's COVID, if you remember. That's
yes,
when
yes,
it was.
Yes. It was kicking off.
I said, God, I'm believing in you and I'm taking the leap. I had to downsize. I had to move to a smaller house. I didn't have a car anymore. Because I was like, yeah. I was like, we're doing this. And I took the job. And yeah, 5 years later, one promotion to media director, managing director. Here I am.
That's an amazing story. Yeah. Tell me, when you were going through that shift, did you ever think, in terms of how you had to adjust your lifestyle, did you ever think, damn, did I do the right thing? Did I drop the ball?
Of course. I was a young girl in Lusaka.
Yeah.
Who went from having a car where you fuel, etc., to the next package I had. Of course, I questioned it, but it was about long term. What made sense for me long term, right? And believing in, and I always say, if you were resolute and you went, first of all, applied for a job, then went for the interview, there must be something. There must be a reason why you went that far.
Yeah.
And now you've gotten it. And that's why it's always important to know your why. I said, there's a reason why I made that step. There's a reason why I made that decision. So it was very important for me to, first of all, it's also believing in God. For that period, I gave it to him.
Yeah.
But I was also like, I want to work for a global agency. I want to have access to staff that sit in London and in Portugal.
Yeah.
And I want to work on a pitch with someone who's in Dubai.
Yeah.
I was like...
You were dreaming big.
Yes. So I knew why I wanted to make that leap.
Yeah.
And my previous boss, Karine, was amazing. She taught me everything I knew. But I knew it was time to do that. So of course I had bad days.
Yeah. Okay.
But I went in and I...
Yeah.
Head down, I said, I'm not going to be fired. I know it's COVID. I know people are losing jobs. It would not be me. Because, it's like last in, first out. I'm like, please, Jesus, it's not me. So, yeah.
So I'm curious to know, do you think the reason why you made it from account lead to MD within the 5 years is because of that attitude? Or do you think you had another quality that you were bringing to the table that made you stand out and they were like, she's the right one to lead next?
Otherwise, they wouldn't have asked me to do the job, right?
Yes.
Of course, there is something about me that they know, right?
Yeah.
But I think it's exercising the smallest qualities. And I don't believe in anyone who's self-made.
Yeah.
It's the smallest, so it's and that's why I always talk about my first boss in my story.
Yeah.
And I talk about my next boss, etc. Because they all added to who I became. Every experience added to who I became, right? But it's that hunger, I think. And obviously, like I said, you're given an opportunity, you don't understand the work. You must understand that if you're in a new space, you might have to put in extra hours, right?
Yeah.
But it's that. It's your willingness to go the extra mile in any situation that I think sort of helped me understand the role faster. And of course, there is a quality. Hence, I was asked to do the job.
Yeah. and I love how you're saying it, because it didn't sound like you had imposter syndrome. You're like, all right, yes, yeah. It's not like, oh, should I really be?
It's how you grow. I don't want to say, my life coach said, never say fake it. We're still trying to figure out what the positive phrase is, but if fake it till you make it, until I find the positive phrase, fake it till you make it.
Fake it till you make it. Okay, so what I'm hearing from your story also is you appreciated and respected your bosses. So you're someone who has led and been led. What do you think makes a good or a bad boss, a bad leader?
Can I tell you, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine. So she's CEO and she's leading a business as well. And it's so funny how when the roles reverse, You know, you go from
like, my boss is annoying. But.
exactly to now being the annoying boss, right? What I will say in reverse is that we don't talk enough about how you can be difficult to lead and understanding how I was also difficult to lead. And hence, in everything I say, I give appreciation to my bosses who still stuck by me and sort of opened the door. Because now being in this position, I'm like, Felicia. You know?
Yeah.
I think I'm still figuring out what a good or bad boss or leader is. But what I can say is that what I've learned in sort of, and I like to say 3 years of leading the business, is it's not about you. And when God puts you in a position, it's bigger than you. It's stewardship.
Okay.
So my team, I'm there for my team. And if my team lose, I lose. It's not about I anymore. And how I quickly needed to realize it is the other thing that comes with promotions coming quicker is you don't get an opportunity to bask in, now I'm media director. Because just when you're media director and you get an award, then you're MD. And as MD, it's not about you. And I'll be very honest with you, last year at the beginning, I did struggle with how do you navigate being a leader and basking in your, like, I've worked, I've earned this. Like, when is it about me? So shifting, and that's, I think, some of the things that I had to work through with the quick growth, etc. And so with the enough books have been written, what a good leader, and LinkedIn already tells us good leader, bad leader, we all leader. But honestly, my friends that are actually leaders were like, oh my God, here we go again. But I think one thing that is true is that it's not about you, and you cannot win alone. You could be there, but if you don't help or empower your team, you're on your own.
Yeah.
And I constantly tell my team is that I'm being hard on you because you're not showing up the way you should. But what you need to realize is what I'm doing is for you. And I will open as many doors as possible. But that's all I can do. You have to walk through them. I can't drag you. I can't force you.
Yeah.
But I think it's the realization that you're not there for fame. One day that title will go. And what will people remember? So I think that's what I've had to quickly learn in like being a leader and being young and like,
yes,
how do I bask in this? Is that it's stewardship. And I think faith helps humble you, because then you realize that as fast as God gave it to you, He can take it away. So it's bigger than you.
Yeah. Beautiful put. You mentioned your life coach. Let's talk about that.
Auntie Anna.
How did you end up getting a life coach?
So, as usual, it's I got the role and I spoke to one of my close friends, Monga, she's in HR as well, about navigating some of the things that I have shared.
Yeah.
And we had such interesting conversations about how difficult it is to have those conversations. And it's like, it's vulnerabilities as well in senior leadership roles. But how do you talk about them? Who do you talk to about them, etc.? And so she started talking to me about the concept of a coach. And obviously we know the difference between a mentor, a coach, a sponsor. And I think one of the things
in one sentence, just differentiate those, please.
Am I the right person? Okay. I feel, okay. So a mentor is someone who, from my perspective, and is someone you look up to and you learn from. Yeah. So either from your career perspective, life, etc., and you sort of want to emulate the path that they've taken, etc., and they'll guide you through it.
Yeah.
So this is how I did what I did. This is what you should do, etc. So they actually, I think, to simplify it, they'll tell you what you should do to attain XYZ. A coach guides you through the answers that you already have.
Okay.
Your coach will never tell you what to do. They explore options with you and you figure out what path you're taking on your own. So that's the difference. So it's almost like it is enhancing the thing that is within yourself.
Yeah.
To be fair. And then a sponsor is someone who open doors for you,
Yeah.
who speak about you in rooms you're not present.
Yeah.
They know your work ethic or they know your heart, and they will create opportunity for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I get it right?
You did. You did. Spot on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So again, was talking about it, and I also believe that things don't happen in isolation in everything. And again, I'll take it back to Holy Spirit, is that if you look for stuff in the world, it will be there. So if you look for the Holy Spirit in anything that you do, your interactions, you'll find blessings. When you meet someone and you see them again, etc., nothing happens in isolation. So I was talking about it a lot in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started obviously looking at it. Coaching is not cheap.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're lucky and you work for an organization that gives it to you, then especially with a good coach, my coach,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, because
She's
she's a lecturer at Oxford, so she's not.
Oh,
Yeah,
she's not 5 kwacha, hey?
No.
So it's an investment.
yeah. But it was actually pro bono for me, and that's what I'll talk about.
Oh,
And that's why I'll say that it's if you live life with intention, honestly, I believe good things happen.
Yeah.
And that's why I said not everything happens in isolation.
Yeah.
And so in everything that we do, we have to constantly be looking for the reminder that,
Yeah.
again, I'm a child of God.
Yeah.
He came so that I can live life. You live life in abundance.
Yeah.
Everything's working for my good. So if you constantly are in search of that, trust me. So anyway, randomly went to a barbecue. Someone knew about my promotion, congratulated me. So Auntie Anna's niece was at the barbecue as well and sort of heard, oh, promotion, oh, okay. And then popped a friend of mine and said, oh, I heard about promotion. Oh, what's her role? Oh, no, she's now MD. And so she then spoke to my friend and said, actually, my aunt is looking to help do pro bono work with young Zambian female leaders. Is Chishimba interested? And she's a coach and that literally for her PhD. So literally, and she was like, oh, there's opportunity for 4 in one group and I think 8 and I think 4 openings for one-on-ones. And so by the time I responded, there was 1 slot for the one-on-one.
Ones. Yeah.
So I didn't pay.
Look at God.
Literally. So that's how I got a coach. And I had I think 6 sessions and we had such a great connection and we've carried on till now. I think I have 2 more sessions with her. So it's over a year.
Wow.
Of, I have not paid a dime.
I see.
Intention.
Yeah. Tell me about the impact this has had on your leadership.
It's so tricky. I'm calmer.
Okay.
And a lot more composed. It's helped me grow up. It's helped me reflect a lot in terms of what is the actual problem here and how do we solve it. So be more solution-oriented, push the team the right direction, let go. I think one of the things that I had a problem with was, I don't want to say, my team have said I'm not a micromanager, but
I give that.
you know what I mean?
I give
Especially because
micromanager.
I'll check in too much, right?
Yeah.
And it's also because I had done the role. It's not like I randomly got the position. I was once account lead, so I understand the role. It's stuff that I can do.
Yes.
So if I'm asking you to do something, it's not like I can't do it, right? So I would want to meddle in their relationship with clients, call.
Yeah.
But what it's taught me is let go.
Yeah.
And I reiterated to the team as well that a lot of the things I can already do, but the reason I give you opportunity is because it's your time to shine.
Yeah.
So even if in the background I've told you to do something that will make you look good, it's your time and it's your opportunity. So I think coaching has also helped me let go and understand that there's an importance in letting go when you transition to a new role. And I think many of us do struggle with what that even looks like because it's what you've known. And so it's like, how do I know they're not doing correctly? But
Yeah.
she would ask me questions like, why do you feel the need to do it? And why do you think you're the only person who can do it correctly? And you're like, okay, ma'am.
I believe you need to come like that.
Exactly. But it's true. Why do you think you've been hired to do something else? Do something else. Let your team fail. If they fail, let them fail fast.
Yeah.
But they will learn from it the same way you failed. Let them fail and guide them through it.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest lesson, really, that coaching has or the impact coaching has had in my sort of leadership journey thus far.
Something impactful that I've heard before is that, and I think when I was more junior starting out, I didn't fully understand it, but it was the saying that when you're starting out, your technical skills are super important, right? But the higher you go, your business acumen is what really counts. And it sounds like that was the transition where you want to step away from the technical work because that's your comfort zone in a sense. Actually.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you can, because it's your strength, you can tell when something's missing.
Exactly.
But now, if you're doing that, who's doing the strategy work?
Exactly.
Tell me, has there been, aside from maybe that question, has there ever been a moment in your coaching journey where maybe I asked a question or you have a conversation and it just completely flipped how you approached everything?
Yes, all the
Tell
time.
me.
It's a bit, I can't divulge
The
because
detail.
it's sort of personal.
Yes.
I will start by saying, first of all, it's been extremely uncomfortable because there's been a lot of unlearning.
Okay.
You know, when you sort of feel, it's like, I'm great.
Yeah.
That's why I'm empty. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Got it.
I'm leading people. They don't just understand. You know, why aren't they doing this? And then you realize, actually, you're not that great, ma'am.
Yeah.
And that's why I really encourage leaders, first of all. I know it's like, before I come into it, to take on coaching.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of unlearning and relearning that happens in coaching, because sometimes you get so lost in the work and your processes and what has taken you to your position, you have to unlearn some of those things. And so it's interesting. Atiana and I have actually had conversations where she says even she actually wants the older leaders to take on coaching more. So she's actually identified that younger leaders are tapping into it, but she thinks older leaders as
Need
well
it.
need it because they're so stuck in their ways and processes, etc. And I'm like, she's the PhD holder. I won't fight her. So, So without sharing information, one of the and this one I had a debate with my sister, because she was like, no, but if it's important, which is what urgent versus what can you pick up the next day. And so I was having a conversation with her about boundaries and how, like, communicating with your team, because it's agency life advertising. So sometimes you have campaigns and you might need to communicate overnight.
Yeah.
And so you find that sometimes you have junior teams and they're not responsive or think, and you know, we crack jokes like, it's not like I want to have I don't actually want to call you.
Like in the middle of the night. Like,
for me
literally, I'd rather be doing anything else.
Literally, yeah. But so then she said, but do you think that if what you're doing will create a healthy environment even for yourself? Because when do you switch off? And I think I had a problem where I was like, there was a specific person in my team who became too dependent and even like, wait, this could be handled.
Yeah.
We can handle this tomorrow morning. It's not that deep. But she said, do you think that you are the reason you've created this environment? And why do you think everything is urgent? Why do you have to communicate today? No, I'll forget. Because I think someone passed a comment like, oh, your team's messages gives me anxiety or whatever. And I was like, I think she's being dramatic. And she was like, no, but what if it did give her anxiety? And she's like, from your perspective, you think you're sending an email or a message and they're like, oh, you can pick it up tomorrow. But your team don't view you the way you view yourself.
Yeah.
So for them, it's like
this authority figure.
I must do it now. Either distorting or compromising a boundary.
Yeah.
And so I said, no, but I might forget. She said, are there no steps you can put in place to remind yourself? Can't you set an alarm at 7 a.m.?
Or scheduled email? So many tools.
So I was like, fair enough.
Yeah.
And so then you realize that actually it's important. If we keep saying healthy work environment, etc., if you do call a person after hours, apologize and do make sure it's not a habit. And so the point is, I feel like you also build trust with your team, that they know that you don't always call me after 5 or
so
after
if you're
6.
calling,
So if you're calling me after 6, something's popped off.
Yeah.
You know? And I think, that's one of the things that sort of shaped. And another one was on empathy, where struggling with another work relationship. And this one wasn't even within the team. And she just said, but have you thought of what she might be dealing with? And before you blow your top, you say one of your values is empathy. And there's a whole conversation about a value where one takes precedence over the other depending on the situation.
Yeah.
Because you might think, oh, I'm reaching a point where I'm just going to tell the person off, because one of the things I say is honesty or candor is my values.
Yeah.
But if empathy is also your value, which one takes precedence? So it's like the value that she's taught me is that sometimes in different situations, you're not dishonoring your value by not being honest. But empathy is the one you need to exercise. So maybe listen or ask or probe. Have you asked her, is everything okay? What's going on in your life, etc.? And maybe if you find out what's going on in a person's life, it might explain a specific behavior. Obviously, not everywhere. Some people just act crazy. But like that also shifted my perspective and made me realize that actually the people we work with are human beings. Yeah. So, and the value, I think, wow, that's something exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So you've told us the various definitions of mentor, sponsor, and coach. And I'm keen to briefly hear your take on the saying, women are over-mentored and under-sponsored.
Yes. I couldn't agree with you more.
Say more?
I think it's a trend.
Yeah.
And look.
Yeah.
I work in strategy. So it's advising brands what they should do.
Yeah.
And we all know the future's female. So therefore, whether you like it or not, you jump on the wave. Mm-hmm. Otherwise, you'll miss the mark, or it's a whole other conversation that we can have, right? With that said, not to say there are no genuine mentors that exist. It's a good look to support women, right? So I'll give you the steps. I'll tell you what you need to do, etc. But remember, a sponsor is the person who opened doors for you, create opportunity.
Yeah.
And so what I've discovered, and it's so interesting when you start to sit in on certain meetings or have conversations once you get to a certain point in your career, is that they'll do the work, but very few people, and not that there's people around, and we're talking from a global perspective, right?
Yes.
Not Zambia.
Yeah.
Full disclaimer.
Full disclaimer.
And that's what's really nice is that my role allows me to have connections with people outside of Zambia. So I have holistic conversations about career paths and transitioning, and some of these conversations is, without saying it's a trend, it's a trend. It's become a trend. You mentor girls, you do, etc. Some are genuine. Actually, a lot are genuine, but some end on that. But are you creating opportunity? What I'm saying is genuinely creating opportunities. The boardroom, they're the only woman. Are you creating opportunity for more women? And are you actually giving women the actual tips? Not just the, this is what you do, but the actual tips that led you to sit or have a seat at the table. Right? Truth. And I mean, and you see, when we talk about women, it's not just about career. Because the thing about being a woman is you could want the career, but you also want the marriage and the family.
Yeah.
But are you having real conversations about how I don't think juggling exists? It's one takes priority or you compromise another. Are you really telling us the struggles that you'll face being a married professional? Or are you presenting a picture-perfect version of that women will try and aspire to but doesn't exist? I had a very interesting conversation with CEO of Africa, Dentsu, and so I was like, how do you juggle? And she was like, juggle? That doesn't exist. She's on a job. It's like it doesn't exist. In different seasons, one takes precedence, or you compromise, or you have a job that gives you opportunity to maybe, as an example, and Loani said this in one of our book discussions, that so now she has a driver, but her drive to the office, when her driver is obviously driving, gives her an opportunity to talk to her loved ones or to respond to emails, because maybe she's rushing to a meeting and so she will need to catch up on emails, etc. So you might get to a place in your life where maybe you can outsource, pay for a nanny, etc., but you can't, from the conversations I've had, have it all.
Yeah. You can't have it all at the same time.
Yes. So one thing will give. So I think that's why I say, especially when it comes to women, is that I don't like to use this word because it's overused, but it's a little bit more nuanced. And I feel like not a lot of people are having the real conversations with us about what it takes to really be a female professional who also wants marriage, who also wants a family, and is juggling everything else. Is also trying to be a Christian, etc. And sometimes then you figure it out. No, you must get married. You must go to school. You must do your master's. You must do a PhD. You must get married. You must have kids. But are we actually talking about what happens in these dynamics? It's one person who's done all of those things. So there's that. And again, like I say, the real opportunity. Are you creating jobs? Are you shifting the narrative? Or even when conversations are being had about hiring a woman versus a man, are you leading conversations about some of the struggles? Or are you saying, the problem with women, Mother's Day? Yes, because it's a real thing.
Yeah.
The problem with women, if they have kids, children, yes, because they say that when you're a woman, that's your child.
Yes.
So when the child is sick, you need to take them to the hospital, right?
Yeah. Real talk.
Are you creating a flexible environment in the workspace where your employees, female employees, feel that they can build trust and tell you, today my child is sick, can I work from home? Or can I get off work at 4 p.m.? Or your young employees now getting married and she needs to go for traditional lessons. Are you allowing her to knock off at 4 so that she can drive for her traditional lessons? Or are you making it difficult because she's getting married? Those are the small things where I say, because that's also creating the space, right? It's creating opportunity because it's difficult.
Yeah.
And hence nuanced.
No.
So we are over-mentored, but I don't think that we're really, and it's about having those real conversations, fundamental conversations that we forget when you make it. Are you really, really creating opportunities, or are you bashing women? Hey, she's even wearing that, etc. So I agree.
You agree?
Whoever said that.
They ate.
Yeah. No crumbs.
No crumbs. I want us to talk about Cheech's book club.
Oh, my baby.
Your baby. What made you start it, and how have you grown it to go across, is it 4 countries now?
Well, if you include Zambia, then...
Yes, it's 4 countries, right?
Yeah, well...
You have an international book club.
We're getting there.
I mean, you're in Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
You're in Zambia. Uganda is coming up, right?
No, not Uganda, Ghana.
Ghana, sorry. Yes, Ghana is coming up. Tell me about that.
So it was a weird phase that I went through where I was, like this, when they say there's a nudging, you need to listen. Normally it feels uncomfortable, where you just feel, and it's a transitional phase in most of us, where you're uncomfortable, you feel like, I'm not settled in the season I'm in, and I maybe should be.
Yeah.
It's normally like a nudging. So I was always feeling like, I really want to do something more. I get it, I'm in a great space career-wise, relational, things were going well, but I feel like there's something I need to do. So I kept having a lot of conversations.
Yeah.
But book club was always a concept that I loved from high school. I was at DK, so I would always talk about it.
Yeah.
One of the people I would talk about it the most with is Mukandi, who you know.
Yes.
Because she was my roommate. And I'm like, I'm really fascinated about the concept of book clubs, because you'd see it in movies.
Yeah.
Even when you read about it, you read about book clubs within your books.
Yes.
And I was like, I haven't seen anything like that in Zambia. Like, why don't we have it? So it was always a concept that I was like, I think that would be cool.
Yeah.
I read, but not as much as I would have loved to growing up. And so next thing, till end of 2027 and entering into 2018, I was like, what if I started a book club? And it was really like, okay, Chishimba. I quickly realized that, and realizing it and acknowledging it or practicing shifts in it is a whole different conversation. But I realized that, and a lot of us should take notes with that, is that if something good happens to someone, or if a person is a certain way and they tick you off, there might be something about them that you either want for yourself or are envious of, which actually is the same thing. So sometimes envy can be good, and I'm reading that concept in a book someone has recommended to me. And so quickly, I always, what's so irritating? You meet with people and I read that in a book. Oh, da 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 da. And I'm like, oh my gosh, book snobs, etc. And I quickly realized, because actually, Chima, you want to be that guy. You actually want to be that guy who understands the different quotes or will say, I have a book about that, etc. So hence book club started. And you were one of the first members.
I was. I picked the first read.
So called a few friends. And asked, okay, if I started a book club, would you be part of it, etc. And thank you to you and the other friends that supported me at the time, said yes. And so book club started, right? And first we would just meet up. Those were before themes. If you remember, we never had themes in the beginning.
Didn't, yeah.
And so it was just a need to improve myself, my reading culture. And I spread it. I was like, okay, let's take people along with us. And how about we have different conversations outside of the usual conversations that women have, which at the time was, okay, you're done with university, you've got a job, men and sex. Surely there must be more that we could talk about, right? No kidding, right?
Yeah.
So that's why we started book club. And then I opened up an Instagram page and started posting about book club, etc. And I think at the time, people started falling off because first it was, I'm a friend, I'm supporting you. But it might not necessarily be what I want to do. I don't want to read a book and now I have to discuss it every 4 to 6 weeks. Admin, right? Because you could be a reader and not want to discuss a book.
Yeah.
That's okay. And so next thing I know, I'm posting consistently quotes, etc. People started expressing interest in the inbox. How do I join? How can I be part of this? And I quickly realized that because I was creating a space that looked a bit different from what already existed in Zambia. At the time, I didn't really know book clubs existed, to be honest with you. Hence, I was like, let's create one. Exactly. And whatever our aesthetic was or the way that the type of women that it attracted, other people, and I like to call them outliers, were interested and said, oh, I'd like to be part of this, etc. And then at that point, I'm like, okay, so this was supposed to be a hobby, but there's actually women who want this space that we are creating, where it's, can we build authentic relationships today that you will use in 10 years that are based on authentic connection? It's not networking where I'm using Zami because Zami can give me access to X. It's because Zami knows who I am inherently, and should an opportunity present itself and she thinks I am the right fit for it, she will pull me first before she pulls someone else. Is what I was trying to create, what I have created or trying to create with book club. It's a toolbox. Let's get to know each other now before you're MD. Let's get to know each other now before you're a person who can create opportunity. But who are you as a woman? Who is Zami? So a lot more other people wanted that. They wanted that space. And so I created systems. Next thing I know, 2019, we had the second chapter. Then COVID. Till end of 2019, 2020, we remember we started needing to meet virtually. And at that time, I think it was about adaptability. A lot of organizations were talking about adaptability. And I said, okay, this is something that you're passionate about. And I realized that it was bigger than me as well. I said, how do I adapt to now we can't meet, etc. But what I found is that during COVID, book club grew. More people wanted a space where they can connect with people. More people had time to actually read. So that is when it grew. And I was like, okay, let me create systems. Next thing I know, I'm calling people and saying, can you be part of an executive? And I was calling people based on their strengths. So someone like Mwonga works in HR. I said, okay, can you join as head of people and culture? Because with what I'm trying to build, I can't do it alone. Next thing, I'm calling my friend Chipo and saying, you are strict. You understand systems. You work for Citibank. Can you come and be head of risk? And just what are the gaps that might exist with the growth? Because now we're growing and we're adding more people. It's dealing with people. We must be sensitive when dealing with people. Next thing, I'm like, and it's a quote I love, be the change you want to see in the world. One of the things that was standing out, and again, over-mentored versus very few opportunities for sponsorship, is we were saying we don't have many mentors, right, as women. And I'm sure you remember a lot of the conversations we're having where it's like, are you really supporting me, or is it just a good look to show that you're supporting me? And so I said, okay, ladies, let's be the change. So you were not mentored. Mentor someone younger than you. And so head of community. And Tendai is the head of community now. And I said, let's go back and give back. It's a different leg. And next thing I meet Christina, she helps me lead Lusaka chapters. Then I meet Gloria and she's in Solwezi and she wants to do this. And that's how it grew. And before long, my mind shifted and it became, I developed a business model. Wow. I then got the name patented, everything. And I'm like, okay, what more? There's more that this is actually doing something for people. Yes. And I think that's where the humility comes in, where you're like, it's actually bigger than me. It's living in purpose. It's stewardship.
Yes.
And if you think of the parable of the talents, right?
Yes.
It's like, what are you doing? Yes. And so a talent isn't just singing or drawing, etc. It's if you're able to create spaces, that's the talent. So I was like, okay, so we're doing this. Next thing, we incorporated themes. And I said, okay, ladies, we look the way that we look. We're outliers, but we love to read. Yeah. Okay, let's add a little razzle-dazzle. And I'm like, themed discussions.
Yeah.
Every 6 weeks, let's look good. If we're going to wear red, we're going to wear red. If it's a theme about expressing your Africanness, what does Africanness look like to you? You wear your duku, you wear your bubu, etc.
Yeah.
And so that's where themes came in. And then I said, okay, I started researching on other book clubs or communities like mine outside of Africa.
Yeah.
And there was Books and Bordeaux that really stood out to me. And I connected with the lady that started Books and Bordeaux. And again, intentionality. I randomly reached out to Jay and I was like, hey, this is weird, but can we connect? And right now we connect. And she's like, yeah, absolutely. We met on a Zoom call, had a great conversation. We both had wine. And she told me how she started and it was similar intentions. And that's how it's expanded. And now with the expansion into different markets, it's because there's an opportunity for us that goes beyond even just reading. It's about cultural assimilation.
Yeah.
It's about tourism, because one of the things that we're planning is also book retreats. So opportunities where women, and maybe we're not interested in travel, we say, okay, 1 year Malawi hosts, the next year Zimbabwe hosts, the next year, but it's on authentic themes and real growth, but meaningful relationships outside of using. I think there's a lot of using in the world right now. And I think we see it even in relationships. You and I had a conversation about relationships. It's like, you don't even know how to show up because you don't know if the person is, I don't know, you taking, or can I show up authentically?
Yeah.
And that's what it is. Next thing I know, and literally Intention Ghana, we just concluded last week. So perfect timing to talk about it is Alberta. She actually works at Dentsu Ghana, and we are accountability partners now. And a friend of mine, Salom, who worked in the Ghana office, I've told about book club, so he understands the passion. And he was like, hey, have you not thought about Ghana? And I was like, that's a wild thought. And he's like, yeah, I think that would be awesome. And here we are. She's Book Club Ghana. And it's the same fundamentals, it's the same themes. And it was literally just COVID shifting my mindset, and also with work as well. When things happen at the same time, it's like, okay, think about it as a business, think about it as a passion, and then create systems, etc. But yeah, that's how we've expanded, and you realize that it's bigger. There's a lot more that we can do. Yeah. We're saying people don't read Zambians. This is Zambian books. This is an opportunity to take Zambian books across the border, but also Malawian books across the border, but also understand Zimbabwean culture.
Yes.
But actually, okay, maybe travel.
Yes. Amazing.
So, yeah.
I love how you've grown your passion from, okay, it's a passion, then I'm going to do this thing with my friends, and now it's crossing borders, and now it's not even necessarily something that's directly tied to you.
Yeah.
That's legacy stuff. So congratulations on all of that. Chishimba, it's been such a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much for
thoroughly enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you so much for having me. And really, it's really humbling when someone invites you to their space to just share your story. So I don't take it lightly that you've invited me here, or that you wanted to share a story. And I do hope that it, challenges someone to take up space, I like to say, to do more. And I say, lean on the parable of the talents. Yes. What are you good at, and what can you do beyond your job, the role you hold right now?
Yeah.
It's about service. That's why we're here.
Service. Beautiful. And I don't take it for granted that you took the time I loved it. To come looking beautiful as ever.
Thank you.
To come and ate. You ate. 4 + 4 = 8.
No
Just
crowd.
was speaking to you.
That's a conversation for another day, but yes, we are.
We are. So I always ask our guests to leave us with a quote and a call to action for us to take away from this discussion. What is your quote and what is your call to action?
My favorite quote of all time. So when I first discovered it was from Coach Carter. And then I actually realized, oh, it's a bigger quote. Can I read it?
Yes, of course.
And it's by Marianne Williamson. It's actually quite a long quote, but I love it.
That's how you know she's got a book club.
Oh, you know what I mean? It's got a one-liner.
It's not a one-liner.
It's a paragraph. So our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. And as we let our light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. That is my all-time.
Beautiful.
What's my call to action?
Yeah.
I actually have it on here. It's a quote that a friend of mine posted, but it basically talks about keep looking. And it says, not for a person, but for your passion, for your love, for your courage, for your goals, for your dreams, for your happiness, for yourself. So I think my call to action to everyone is, you think you figured yourself out, but keep looking. In every season of your life, in every chapter, keep looking for yourself. So that's my call to action.
Beautiful. Thanks, Chishimba. And before we conclude...
Another one.
Oh, you have another one?
No, I'm just like you, like before.
Before. Yes. Before we conclude, how can people keep up with you, the book club, etc.? Where can our listeners and viewers find you? Or your book club?
Find me LinkedIn only because my Instagram is private.
Yes.
And I have I always remove
random.
Depending on, so LinkedIn is where you can find me. But the stuff that I'm doing in the world is through book club pages. And we have a website. We also have a LinkedIn page. We have an Instagram page. And really, that's where you can find sort of the passion. And I like to say that's where, if you want to get to know me, go to book club pages and you'll be like, oh, this is who she is inherently. And yeah.
And what's your book club handle?
So it's Cheech's Book Club for Instagram. For LinkedIn as well, it's Cheech's Book Club. And our website is www.cheechsbookclub.com.
Thank you. And of course, everything will be linked in the show notes. Thank you for watching, listening to this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, be sure to share it with a friend or 3. Like, subscribe, do all the things. Kind regards, Zamiwe.